Towards the mountains, yes? We're not thinking too far back.
No, that was last week.
Damn. Well, we traveled towards the mountains, and, well, we searched around a bit, fought some wyverns. And then suddenly some people began shooting arrows at us, distance down the ground. We killed the wyverns, took a bit of time, a lot of them. And we went to smack some of the people around, didn't kill anyone, and ended up instead, well, making them surrender, really, and talking to them about... we were looking for, someone we had the name of, which I think helped a lot. Thunder Moonhide. They directed us to a valley, a hidden camp, so to speak, a hidden city, of the Moon Clan, of which Thunder Moonhide is the shaman. It has been decimated by Sunda's forces and the Sun Clan in a war because they refused to give up. Now they've been so split and broken that many have lost faith, or at least their leaders have died, meaning that they've split up. The Moon Clan functions as such that it is made of many smaller clans, a tribe really, made of many clans that each have their individual leadership and ways of doing things. They're very weak, split up, and are only really waiting to die at this point. We talked to him, and he seemed to have been putting all his faith into us because, well, he doesn't really have much other choice. We went into the cave, talked to the spirit of the tribe, and befriended it somewhat. At least some of us left a secret there, and in return we got a bit of a blessing and the goodwill of the spirit. We then went out, and the last, non-captured councilman of the village came and declared that he would see us dead because we were evil dragons. We then killed him and, made the rest of his people surrender. We've learned that there's one more councilman of the tribe, but he is being kept at the Sun Clan's camp. Lastly, we spent a good amount of time looking at a map and being pointed out to which other parts of the Moon Clan that were out there, that we might be able to rally back into the clan to make it strong enough to fight, now with the aid of dragons. Quite something. Today, I think we have to decide which way we're going to go to unite the clan. Kayak certainly would vote for the Sun Clan outpost.
Yeah, we'll pick up this session on the dawn, essentially, of the day after, which would be the 7th of Callistril. Almost a week since you headed up here into the Cinderlands. And the day before, Thunder Moonlight would have certainly offered his own tent for you to sleep in, and while cramped, it would at least be better than to sleep outside in the dust, unless you're into that sort of thing.
I sleep on the ground.
But the next day, Thunder Moonlight would certainly request that you once again meet with him in case you have any more questions. And to recap, the options that he has presented to you that he thinks would be most viable, to say the least, are going to some of the bigger parts of the, former Moon Clan. There are the Beast Wranglers to the north, known to be very good unarmed fighters, and afraid of nothing, really. They are commonly known to fight huge beasts just for the fun of it. And having them, while not as disciplined as other parts of the Moon Clan, in a war would certainly be a good thing. There's also the outsider to the northeast, a woman of significant magical powers, however little is known about her. Rumors are that she is some sort of shaman who is split off, made her own tribe, attracting people with the promises of an alternative to a war, and just offers a happy life, essentially. And apparently it's working so far, as she has attracted quite the following. There's also the General's Retinue, which is led by one of the Shoanti who calls himself the General, a word that is not commonly used by the Shoanti, and definitely has some lowland influence. He is not exactly the most pleasant person to work with, but the title he has given himself certainly fits, as he has time and time again proven that he knows how this whole strategical fighting thing works. And there's of course the Flametails, the horse breeders of the Moon Clan, who breed horses and use them to do the most ridiculous stunts. Mostly running away, first of all running towards and then running away from the massive amber storms that tend to frequent the center of the Cinderlands. There's also the Sun Clan Outpost, of course, which Menachai mentioned, which was known to contain at least a few prisoners, among them the weaponsmith of the Moon Clan, as well as now also one of the last remaining council members. The councilman has just recently contacted Thunder Moonhide with the help of communication stones. They are made from the same material that is the cave here, and allow long-distance communication. Let me reorder my thoughts here. Thunder Moonhide has recovered most of the stones that were given to the other council members, although they are either run away or dead now, and does offer them to you, essentially. He currently has 4, however more could be constructed, and there are some still among the other more important members of the Shoanti, although he isn't entirely sure who has them at the moment. They do allow you to communicate between each other if you possess a stone, as well as with any other owner of one of those stones. The last thing that Thunder Moonhide mentioned is also the Inquisitor's Camp, who is a lowlander who's currently trying to convert the barbarians of this land to the civilized ways, which often involves slaying those that disagree with him. Not only is he a capable fighter, but also his actions and words do tend to convince quite a few people. They offer a way out of this war-stricken wasteland, even though most people don't realize that the way out really isn't a better alternative, as it often ends in slavery and worse. Those are the options that Thunder Moonhide has presented to you, but what you want to do in the end is certainly up to you.
Well, we should strike at the camp now, before they get a whiff that somebody is gathering up the tribes. Before they move the prisoners to other locations. They won't expect it. Seeing dragons flying above, they will expect us to be allies. We can get in any position we want. There's also thousands of aurochs in nearby herds. We could use them to stampede the location. We're meeting with Thunder Moonhide. I actually ask him about the river, the ford location. So if it can be crossed all over. It looks like a pretty huge river, sort of from the map we have.
The river is not as big as the map might suggest. It is a slow-moving, wide but not very deep. And the forts, they do change over time. It is likely that the Sun Clan has struck their camp right at its side and constructed their own forts to use to cross the river.
So they built bridges, basically?
Not bridges, but rather shallower parts of the river by just throwing in a bunch of sand.
How wide are these parts of the river? Like, how much of a fort have they constructed? Because I imagine it to be very tiresome work. They probably haven't made them super wide, right?
Might be using prisoners for work.
Even so.
I don't know how these people act.
The forts should be wide enough for at least 2 horses to cross at a time.
That's not much. Like one of us, like at the end of that could probably stop any escapees.
I mean, how fast do you guys fly? I certainly can't keep up with a horse.
Our
No way.
Our Volux is pretty quick.
They do 250.
My
feet
speed,
per
my speed is
round.
no faster than you guys. I can't get improved speed until level 8.
You're just better at it. Yeah.
I'm better at flying. I'm more maneuverable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm average. Are there orgs at the other side of the river?
It is very likely that they are keeping the orcs somewhere on the other side of the river, as that is the Sun Clan's main territory.
So if we were to fly down and like attack the orcs and hurt them or scare them or whip them into some sort of scared frenzy and just send them towards the ford, they would crowd it completely and to try to get over, right? Ideally.
That could work, yes.
And that would then give us a chance to swoop down and strike, while they had to, if they wanted to flee over that one, flee through all the orcs. We could then ask Thunder Moonhide to perhaps send a bit of his good riders with us, who could stay some distance away so they wouldn't be spotted from the Sun Clan outpost. And once we had whipped these into it, they could move down to either side of it, trying to block any stragglers who might ride along the river to find another ford from getting to it.
There can certainly be volunteers that could be found, I think. Although it would mean striking rather deep into the Sun Clan's territory. A dangerous task, to be sure.
Well, I mean, the
Wait.
camp is on the
Yeah,
territory on this side, right?
yeah, isn't this the border of their territory?
It used to be the border, however, the Sun Clan has decided to expand their borders rather rapidly. They are patrolling far into our previous territory, thinking it their own now.
Means that presumably if the Inquisitor could be taken out, then moving from that side would be viable. They probably don't patrol that side as much. Are they at peace or at war with this Inquisitor?
The Inquisitor does not think peace is an option with us uncivilized brutes.
Alright then. Well, we'd want all the scouts to be killed anyway, wouldn't we? Because they escaping is just as bad as anyone else escaping. We'd want a quick, decisive strike. Take out all of them.
I still think we shouldn't at this point mess with the Inquisitor. I don't think whatever, like he is, he seems to either like sit around and drag people to him that he convinces. I don't think he's a guy who patrols or like
No.
doesn't really has an area. So taking
He's
him
a
out
slave
first,
trader.
yeah, taking him out first wouldn't matter anyway. We could.
It would just be to, if they didn't patrol that side, we could sneak around by taking him out.
I mean, we can probably do that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do patrol it, as it turns out. Because they do also not like him.
Right.
So maybe like a huge ring around them, maybe like half a day out and then back.
How many other forts are there up and down the river?
There are no permanent forts in this river, however, any part of the river can be crossed given enough time. It is a slow river and not very fast or deep.
Basically,
Yeah,
swing the horse across it then.
some outriders who would pick up stragglers running away would certainly be a good idea. Try to get the orcs to stampede and crowd the fort they have built for themselves. Then we strike at the proper camp, preferably taking out the horses if they are gathered in one place. That's fairly easy to do, I think. And then we have outriders to pick off any escapees that we can't catch.
I mean, we could always divide and conquer. If they do have scouts so far out, the scouts probably aren't. I mean, covering a huge tract of land would require a lot of people. They're probably very spread out. So with a small force, maybe like some of these scouts could be drawn together and ride like north into their territory there to keep potential attackers at bay. We could then, well, that's the scouts that have been gathered together there. We could strike at the outpost and then move on to strike at the scout force, whatever. Basically, have the Moon Clan move in, attack like a few scouts or something, and then withdraw, hoping to lure the scouting patrols with them.
Well, the Sun Clan believes themselves to be in a position of strength, so they would most likely ride out to punish the Moon Clan, being very cocky about it, not realizing that they're gonna get a face full of dragon as a counterattack.
What does Moonhide think about that idea? He knows these people better than we do.
One of the problems with that plan is that the center of the Cinderlands really is the Cinderlands. Ember storms are common, and the heat at noon is deadly, to say the least. The Sun Clan controls one of the more commonly used water sources in the area, and the next oasis is at least half a day away.
Right, so there's no easy way to attack their camp, because basically they've captured the well, and you can't really, you have to trek through huge amounts of useless land. Which means then if you reach their edge of their camp, then you wouldn't be able to retreat in time to, like, if you failed. Which means that everything has to be an all or nothing attack.
Pretty much.
Probably the same way in the other direction, though. They can't attack without everything, like, and that's the stalemate then. Yeah?
Yes.
Alright. Luckily we can fly.
Then it seems to me that we're doing the original plan, trying to get a Stampede to block the
fort and strike
block
at them.
the fort, and then we strike at them and kill as many as we can.
Perhaps we could when we attack make like voice mimicking of the big red dragon commanding us to do it.
Sure.
I mean, if any escape, we might as well have as much blame, like as much confusion about what happened as possible.
It seems perfectly fine. If they have their horses gathered in some sort of makeshift stable, or
Would they have that, like a
corral,
pen?
a corral or something with the horses?
Yeah,
if they
horse-
have
horse
that,
tent.
me and Einavox can probably make mincemeat out of those horses with a few breath attacks.
It is unlikely that they have all their horses in one place. They likely do the same thing that the Moon Clan does, which is build small understands for them.
Small what?
Small, that's not a word. Small, basically not exactly tents, but just a place where they can get shade.
Cover.
A cover, yes.
But they have like for each of their horses, like individual or small groups, or
Small groups, likely.
So you could take
Also-
out a group or two groups, but
Also, while the Auroch herds can be guided, they cannot be controlled. It would be difficult if they are too far away to get them to stampede to a specific place.
well,
They very much have a mind of their own.
the river is very much nicely like this nice arrow shape here. So just in this direction generally will, in the end, force them to go through. Like, unless they like to be grilled and sprayed with acid. In which case, I guess they could hang around. Is it hard to whip them into a frenzy?
Not exactly, however, it can be that if they panic too much, that they simply spread.
No. We can try.
It is one of the reasons why the clans tend to follow the Aurochs and do not make the Aurochs follow them.
But I mean, they herded them across the river somehow.
They did with the help of a rather large incentive.
Huge stacks of hay.
Delicious, delicious hay.
Well, I mean, there might be things we could do on the thing. Like, for example, could Avendra prepare grease?
She could.
because that would cover the bridge, and I don't know how good horses are at acrobatics or reflex saves. But three castings of that should cover the bridge nicely.
Reflex
It's
reflex would be
not a-
decent at.
They don't have bridges though. They have shallow parts of the river that they tend to
Seems
use to cross.
entanglement is the spell of choice.
We don't have that though. No access to it. I can't do it.
Can she cast level 2 spells?
No.
I mean, it's not that hard to hold. Like, was it 2 people or 2 horses moving over?
2 horses.
Okay, that's a little more difficult.
However, even if a few horses get away, it is quite the distance for them to deliver their messages. They are unlikely to be able to travel at full speed the entire time.
That's true, but they could probably still get further away than we could catch them.
We fly still though. A horse needs to be quite careful at it so that as it moves through the land. They're very prone to break their legs if they move too fast.
Cax doesn't really know anything about horses, but if we could wound them at least, that should slow them down. You know, I suppose even striking and having people know that dragons did it will Sunta immediately conclude that the enemy must have dragons.
No, probably not.
I imagine she has a lot of them.
I don't know.
Then again, what is a lot of dragons?
Yeah, exactly. Like 5? That's a lot of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole lot of dragon.
I would say when you come to 3, that's a lot of dragons.
Well, it depends on whose side you're on, certainly, right?
Well, if you,
We are not a lot of dragons.
well,
The enemy are a lot of dragons.
well, when you think about it, 1 is 1 dragon, 2 is a pair, 3 is a lot.
It's a murder of dragons.
A college,
A swarm.
school of
I think murder is a relevant term for chromatic dragons.
Murder of dragons.
Not chromatic though. I'm more like a vortex of dragons.
Well, we can try to get the orcs. It would be nice to sort of plug up the fort.
The thing is, we
somehow.
can scout them freely because as long as we don't all stick together immediately, like all the time, they're not going to panic for seeing one dragon because they do that.
And if we fly at night, they're not going to see us at all, probably.
Well, that's very true.
Like 100 meters up in the air, they're not going to see that.
Mm-hmm. Well, might leave a Vendra back home for this one,
Mm-hmm.
or back here for this one. She should learn the language anyway. Hopefully Moonhide will see to her protection.
Yes, I like brood of dragons. That's probably.
I still say at least we approach from this side. They're much less likely to charge like over the bridge if we are attacking from that side. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we can approach from the bridge and just hold the bridgehead and start murdering people.
Well, the idea is if there's like 30 people, they all mount and just like fucking everyone in their own direction.
I don't think they are that.
They're probably proud.
I don't think they're that used to scatter like that.
Maybe not. They don't. At least these clans don't seem to be super organized or
No. And
really
they perceive themselves to be in a position of strength, which makes them more courageous and
I
willing
mean,
to
you're
fight.
good at bluffing, right? Could you like bluff them to think that they have displaced Sunta in some way, and we're here to execute them?
I could.
Like something like destroy them. This will be this will show what happens.
To incompetence or whatever.
When Suntha doesn't see the progress she expects,
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, yes, Sunta sends her regards.
Well, I mean,
You incompetent fools.
maybe.
I can certainly try.
Or let none survive. The rest of the Sun Clan cannot be allowed to know yet. You know, anything like that? Said with the voice of the Red Dragon General.
Mm-hmm.
Should, even if someone escapes, I mean, you know, the more... If we can make them not talk to anyone that is a dragon about it, that would be brilliant. If they're like, Sunta's totally like plotting against us, man, to their friends back home, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want. So, I'm kind of sure that Tolvaxus can find the right words for that sort of conveyance.
I can roll a bluff check.
Yeah, proven his manipulation skills before, after all. City.
I can roll a bluff check.
That sounds like a great idea. We'll fly across this side, and then we'll move here. Try to see if we can guide the Oryx into the camp. And we strike and kill them all. Moonhide, how will we know the prisoners from the non-prisoners? Where's where prisoners usually kept?
It would be safe to assume that they are kept in some sort of pen or prison. Likely similar to what we have here in the camp.
Check out the prison in the camp. Memorize it. So it's like, oh no, those people have built a fortification. Kill them all.
It's in the bottom right of the map
Roast
here.
prisoners, that would be bad. Oh, like a little dirt thing, right? Sure then.
I've already planted.
It should be easy enough to identify people from the Moon Clan and from the Sun Clan, as at least the tattoos we use are significantly different. Although perhaps they might not seem very different to outsiders in retrospect.
Perhaps. We will learn the differences soon enough. If nothing else, those who have weapons and attack us, those are probably our enemies.
Or just those with weapons. Like, prisoners probably don't have weapons.
Probably not. Well then, I suppose there's little to do but move along.
One more thing that I did want to mention to you. Is Dides here? Yes. I have mentioned before in our first meeting that I've seen many a dragon crash to the ground from exhaustion, especially the whites. There's a cream we give to our children to prevent the heat from getting to them. Perhaps it would be worth considering using some of that as well. It is rather smelly, however, it is rather effective too.
I will certainly take some of that cream.
He nods and will produce a rather large tub of brownish and rather smelly cream.
How does he produce this tub in front of us?
He has it in like
Also
in a
flap
corner.
away.
You are in his tent after all.
Alright, sure. He produces a tub of brown smelly stuff. Well, friends, we're going to battle. It's time to lube up.
DDS, if you want to, sure. Although I would say at this point you kind of know him, kind of. So this would be a voluntary role.
I don't think either of us can do that.
Tyraxos plops into the tub.
Just think of it. If you don't smear this on yourself, you might fall and die.
Well,
You
let's
know-
fall and die beautiful.
Although I still does not fully trust Thunder Moonhide yet, so I'm gonna make my will save. DC 14 will save. Let's see how this goes. This is the time I regret getting the headband of charisma. You know. Okay.
I don't think she can
I-
do it
I passed my voluntary save.
Why not?
because she really likes to be pretty and smell good.
Well, think of it this way. Corpses don't smell very good.
No, but she won't be there to smell it.
do try to avoid showing yourself to the other clan members too much while the smell is still evident. It is rather disgusting to most.
We will leave as soon as we come out of this tent. And yes, smelling like children probably isn't the best way to go.
It's just green dragons think so much about image.
Well,
This is her image. It's all about her image.
is it worth dying for?
I would say yes.
Well, go ahead then.
Okay. You guys smell.
Yeah. You really should, though.
Was that from the dragon with the noxious breath?
Avendra giggles a bit at you rolling around in smelly stuff.
Don't worry, you'll have to do two soon enough. But for now, study with Moonhide. I'm sure he's
On his way out, Tyraxus will accidentally bop Evander with his tail so she falls into the tub.
Event? Oh, that's mean.
He's just caring for her health in case she gets heat stroke.
Yeah, he's very, very.
Would Einavox think it's really, really, really that necessary to use that poop substance?
Einavox would know that the Cinderlands are called that for a reason. The air here near the mountains and near the ridge is much, much colder than it is in the center. However, colder really doesn't work as a word. It is less hot. If you think you can deal with it, you certainly have an unlimited access to water, which is very good and very useful. However, it still might be rather unpleasant. And while the cream you don't think would be enough to make you permanently immune to every heat ever, it would certainly alleviate the problem a bit.
Kaix hops up and flies after Tyraxus.
Avonix will follow.
This is ridiculous.
You'll see Avonix is slightly amused when you knocked Avendra into the tub.
Avendra glares at Tyraxus as he leaves.
Kaix didn't see.
Tyraxus turns half around, winks at her.
A mischievous glare that promises revenge in the future.
Einavox looks extremely sad and goes into the tent to get the...
Tomorrow there's going to be horse poop in it.
Just saying.
Although
Although, yeah.
perhaps
it's quite clear
You
Avonix.
don't want to know what it's made from.
there's hay in this.
Ugh.
Well, Einavox will look very sad when she has to do it.
I got some in my mouth
And
and
join Avendra in the
Is that a
tub.
piece of corn?
it's really bad. Oh.
Just saying. After Tyraxus did that, by the way, Avonix almost seemed slightly jealous that he didn't think had the idea.
Einavox will join Avendra in the tub. Look very sad.
Yes, it's made out of dreams, hopes, and starlight. Rainbows and lollipops.
There's a very bad smelling rainbows and lollipops.
You know. Take what we can get, alright?
Give nothing back.
That's right, pirate dragons.
Well then,
You guys really are letting us wait for them.
I don't think the others
Yes,
know to which map you transferred to.
They are slow on the uptake, I suppose.
He just looks at Tyraxus, noticing that he probably flies the worst of all of us, right?
Does he?
Well, that Earth Mastery sets him down a
Yeah,
peg.
I haven't.
I'm sure you that.
I don't
Actually,
think.
it drops you.
I don't think that's on the first step to Earth Mastery.
No, yeah.
That is-
You have Earth Affinity, not Earth Mastery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you wish to travel at this fine dawn of this fine day, then I would like to move your dragon token on the overview map. As before, you can, under ideal circumstances, move 5 tiles a day, so keep that in mind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's very close to the Flame Tails.
Yep.
Let's hope they don't mind.
I would also like you to roll 2 fortitude saves, as You can clearly see the transition from the kind of Badlands mountain area to the Cinderlands proper. The red, rocky and hilly area quickly changing to one of dust and sand.
That's the
Hate saves.
cream help.
The cream does give you a +2 bonus, which I will just add on top of your results.
Just saying, I'm kind of upset that my +4 bonus against cold weather is of course not getting double lighter.
You know, I'm upset that I'm not a real dragon and good at awesome saves.
Also, I just realised. So, I just rolled a 3 and a 4.
Asshole.
As you land at this evening, you are quite happy that you weren't quite in the Cinderlands yet when noon passed. However, even in the afternoon and evening hours, the sun is relentless until it finally sets. The DC for this was 15. If you fail one save, you're fatigued until you rest. If you fail 2 saves, you are fatigued the next day.
Maybe I should just go home and leave this guy to you guys.
And from here on out, it's only going to get worse as you have entered the pretty much the exact center, almost, of the Cinderlands, with little water inside. However, that is not exactly a problem for you.
No, we just bathe ourselves in water all the time. There's just water just pouring from our kayaks as it flies.
Really? He's just surfing the entire way.
Yeah, exactly. Splashes
The
everywhere.
water evaporating behind him and created in front of him to make a wave.
Well,
Apparently, he's also fatigued for endless time and probably exhausted next day. So I'm not going to be much use in a battle.
well, on the next day we're gonna end at the river, so maybe it's cooler by the river.
If you bathe in the river, certainly. But before that, no.
Well, 4. We end up here. We can take one more step if we want to.
Let's
we
just
can-
splash in the water.
We can chill here for a bit.
You
I
are
need to-
suddenly traveling through the Cinderlands at noon this time, meaning I would like 3 fortitude saves. As
sure
there
I'm
is
sleeping there.
There is not a single cloud and not a single tree to catch shade in anywhere, really.
So I'm gonna feel horribly because I couldn't even. Oh, come on, more good rolls! Damn it!
Smash out 3 right now. Oh god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, tell me how many successes and failures you get. The DC,
At 15?
What's DC?
DC is 15.
1 failure.
3 successes.
Do we still get +2?
You still get +2.
But that's
Although the effect of the cream is probably not going to last for too much longer.
Well, I have 1 failure.
With 1 failure, you are essentially fatigued until you rest. With 2 failures, you are fatigued the following day. With 3 failures, you are exhausted the following day.
Oh, I got rid of my fatigue then. Do we think that here by the river it's going to be as horrible?
Well, the river doesn't really offer you any shade or anything. It might be ever so slightly colder, but it's really not very noticeable at
I'm
all.
gonna sleep under the water.
I mean, there's a lot of cool mud we can sleep in, right?
I'm gonna dig down into the cool mud underwater. I can breathe there. It's fine.
In the river, there's certainly a bit of mud. Outside, not so much. Any wetness that gets out of the riverbed immediately dries up.
Are there any fish?
Searching around, you could find the occasional strange creature that could be considered a fish.
Can I ask them how to stay cool here?
They don't really have a concept
Where
to
is
stay cool.
where is shade? Where is it dark?
They don't know what shade is.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Can you convince the fish to stampede into their camp?
I don't think it's big fish. It's small fish, shallow.
Not like goldfish.
Yeah,
Probably like
goldfish
piranha.
stampedes out of the river into the camp.
The fish you would find here are almost horned and scaled and look rather not very big, but certainly very resilient. Like trying to eat one of them would be a serious, complicated task.
We rest, safe to say.
Why?
They're
Because
full
they
blood.
are essentially almost as scaled as you are, although much
Oh.
smaller, of course.
It's just like a little sharp box with a clam inside. Really not worth it. Also, they're very nice fish. Talk to them.
Well, we rest by the river, and then the next day we fly out to see if we can find some aurochs to herd into the camp.
Like here, perhaps.
Sure.
Okay, then roll me a perception check. As well as a fortitude save right there.
Fortitude. Yes.
The poop.
Ooh, good perception check. That's a natural 20.
That would be a fail for Einavox, meaning that you are indeed fatigued.
Okay.
Even the dawn light, the dawn sun is already burning down on top of you. Terexus does not find any hurt immediately, however, he does find signs that there might be one to the southeast.
Alright, we will go to the southeast. He will lead the brood southeast.
Roll me perception checks.
Good lord, I'm
Damn.
rolling good.
Good lord, indeed. Terexus.
This is Tyraxus' home turf. He likes sand, he likes heat.
That is not sand.
Terexus could certainly come to like this area very much. Even though the heat might even be slightly uncomfortable for him, it is certainly not nearly as uncomfortable as it is for the others. And looking around, he does see the telltale signs of a large group of creatures moving about, and he is almost definitely sure that it is not a mirage or a trick of the light.
That would just be great.
The herd you're seeing is about an hour away. It's hard to judge the distance, but it's pretty much close enough that you don't need to move away from this tile.
So,
He does also see that the herd does seem to be accompanied by a group of riders.
Mm-hmm. Well, the more people we can kill off that's not in the camp, the better.
mhm.
Alright, well, we shall pursue.
I will then show you what you're up against.
Like 30 of them.
A few.
Where's the tokens?
30
There.
of our least skilled level 10 rangers.
How long is-
Anti-dragons.
For how long is Einavox fatigued?
Until you rest, essentially.
What repeating known ballistae?
So at least for this entire day.
Armed
Okay.
with heart-seeking arrows.
What you see is definitely what you've been looking for. Perhaps not the thousands that Moonhide indicated, but certainly a few hundred of the beasts. Currently not really running or stampeding, but slowly moving towards the southwest. They are not so much herded, but definitely accompanied by a group of riders. One on each side, who keep their distance to the beasts, however do keep an eye out for, well, the herd. They are moving at a very slow pace.
Alright, everyone you who wants can get a mage armor.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think it's very fitting while we're playing in the Sunderlands, I'm listening to Borderlands soundtrack.
Sure. That or Bastion would also work.
Oh, Bastion.
Oh, Wabbit King informs us that according to Google, a group of dragons is either a flight of dragons or a rage of dragons.
Oh my.
Oh my.
So we would be the Moon Clan Rage.
I believe technically it's a flight from what I've actually read in the past.
Flight of dragons.
Dragonflight.
I believe it was flight.
Alright, we're a flight of dragons. And wyverns are called murders. So there we go.
Murders?
Yeah, the murder of crows.
Mm.
No, honey, it's a murder of crows. A murder.
Oh, what is it that
Simpsons.
a group of owls are called? It's so cute.
College?
Is it a college?
A college of owls?
What is it called? A herd of owls?
I don't know. Conference?
I think it is. It is something.
A council of
Something-
owls.
something like that.
Council. It's a council, yeah.
Parliament.
It is a council, actually, I
The
believe.
State of Owl.
Yes, what a hoot. God fucking damn it. Well,
Who knew that Horton heard a hoot?
It's called a parliament.
Parliament of Owls. Alright, my flight mates. It is time
So,
to swoop down and...
so how about, do we want a Blessing of Fervor before we do this?
we could, that would help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I DC'd for a second, so what exactly happened? Where are we?
you get a mage armor.
I get a major armor, okay.
The PCs currently are trying to herd an Orc horde towards the Sun Clan camp. You have found the horde, the herd rather.
But there are guards by it, so we're gonna kill them.
Also, apparently the Aurochs are hurt. That's not true. There you go.
Someone has already been hurting them.
A Blessing of Fervor
Hurting them.
would help, yes.
I will do it then. Just put a little bit of a halo on yourself.
Oh god.
Was that blessing and fervor or?
Cyan halo.
Blessing of
Yes.
Fervor, I would say
Oh.
you should probably do on the first round of combat, since it is a round spell.
All right.
Well,
True.
how close can we be before initial
Not
combat then?
allowed.
Well,
Are
this
they gonna
distance,
attack us?
this distance is safe. Anything else, you could, try a stealth check.
Well, let's just cast it now then, and let's go down there and rip them to pieces.
Like start combat, basically.
There's no
I guess
reason
we
not
can
to.
take a surprise round.
You certainly can take a surprise round if you want to.
Let's start combat with that then.
Let's see, the
Oh.
Aurochs and you. And it's Torexus.
I'm gonna wait until after our kayaks.
Okay. Attacks.
Blessing of Fervor. And we can get a nice teal border for it. And go cyan. I like the teal better. Cyan is my spiritual weapon. He will take the AC bonus. And fly. So.
Okay.
That's just-
Torexus.
Alright, full speed ahead. I can run fly, right?
You can run fly.
Okay, we're gonna 90 times 4. Basically, it's just gonna fly off here. Let's see here. 90 times 4. No, wait, 90. Yeah, no, I can't get. This is the best I can do. Does any one of these
You can
seem
choose to
to
get the
be
speed
like? What are they armed with? These.
Getting closer, you can see that they do have very different armaments. The archer is quite obvious by his bow that he still quite hasn't drawn yet, as you're surprising them. The woman they have with them seems to be carrying a large bone lance,
Yeah.
whereas the bare-headed man to the north is wielding similar weapons as what you've seen the bodyguards use in the Moon Clan, an Earthbreaker as well as a spiked bone shield.
Yeah, but these two-handed hammers and shields.
Well, Traxxas flies here, and he is going to be.
It's a surprise round. We can only have one action.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be 10 feet up, I think.
Oh, you technically couldn't have run, I think, since
No.
that's full round action. Let me double check that because that's actually important. See, running. I'm. No, not the feet. Movement,
That's where I
no.
started.
You can just right click and revert last movement.
That's too late now, though.
Run is a full round action, yes. You have a standard action in a surprise round.
You can move closer and prepare for a charge.
I could. Well. Well, I'm gonna move here then. I could use my quick run shirt to get another move action.
Or the freaking
Where would I
Deep
end up
buff
then?
from-
I would be here. That's pretty good. Sure, Tyraxis will activate the quick run shirt to close the distance more effectively.
Okay. Volnix.
Okay. So I would take the move speed buff. I suppose I will fly slightly. I mean, it's a surprise run, right? I can take one action.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a huge lot of choices. First.
No, I guess I will fly 90 feet. That's all I can do with a single action.
But don't you get a? And you fly 120 when you choose to move bonus thingy.
You get 90 bonus, not double.
You get an extra 30 foot.
Only 30. Okay.
Okay, Inovox.
I'll do the same. Get the 90. Move 90. That's it.
The Aurochs don't get an action yet. This archer, however, does clearly see your hostile intent as you're rushing straight for them. Which means he will guide his horse to go over here. And then he'll shoot at Tyraxis. Rapid shot and... $23?
Nope.
That's actually a 20, so that does hit.
Oh, well, 6 damage.
Attacks.
Yep. Time to move. So he will. What do we do? Like a move run thing for 4 times 90. He'll just double move to here. That's fine.
Tyraxis.
Flies here. He's still above this guy.
Okay, make sure to set your elevation if you are deciding to be essentially above them.
If I want to be in bite range, how high up do I need to be?
When you're 10 feet range, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, in bite range you can essentially be above them. However, if you want to get a full attack, you would be able to be reached from the ground.
Yes, I know.
So if you
but-
want to fly 15, that would put you in bite range, I would say.
Okay, 15 then. Well, it goes here, and you know it. It's time for lightning. He's gonna hit the archer, his horse, and he's gonna do the full blast also towards the Thunderfang Crusher, as well as his horse. And the excess is gonna be hit by the Lancer and her horse.
Okay. Those are all fails.
Yep.
So that's 21 damage for all of them. Which downs both horses immediately.
So proneness.
They have to do a right check, I believe, to not be prone.
I think it's acrobatics.
Acrobatics? Let's have them do an acrobatics.
I'm not sure the DC. I can look it up.
Don't think they are very good at that though. Should be enough, I think.
I don't think it's that much, like a 15 or something.
Let's see. Jumping and falling. No. I would probably say it's a DC 10, which they would both make.
Wait, I'll look it up here.
And the Wild Lancer failed, which means she takes 10 points. Her horse takes 5. It's this guy's turn. Who will?
Why does the horse take 5?
Because it made the reflex save.
No, the DC is 19.
But it's the secondary jump, which is too lower.
It's true.
She will suck around here. How much movement? 50. Will not run. She will... Actually, she will run and go here. And she will... Well, double move this way. Because none of you have had the good grace of coming down at their range. Avolnix.
Well. Part of my instinct says go this way, because everyone's over there. But, I mean, should we just go up here and let them come to us? You guys got an opinion at all? Should I just fly up here with this, like, few guys left up here, or this way?
Well, you could try taking those two, yeah, but you could also... Getting those archers down quickly, I think, is important, because they can just ride and shoot us constantly if we don't catch them.
Yeah, go for the archer, definitely.
Well, there's an archer over here, so let's make sure he's out the little picture. How far? Let's see. What is my move speed? My move speed is 60.
90 if you use the movement buff. Well, then let you double move 180.
Yes, but 180 is not enough.
No, generally not.
Activate quick running short and then make a charge action.
I could, actually. That would work. In theory, I think.
They'll be fine. Just go for it.
Sure, so taking the movement buff, I will move 90. Crit corner shirt for the shirt. Spell that. I suppose charge, which I guess the closest guy would be bear. I could reach him for a charge and bite.
Okay.
So I mean, targeting his horse's square. Remember, the closest square to hit him would be.
Yes. What I would argue though is we'll do it like this now, but I would argue that you can't quick run a shirt and then charge, because charge, like a full attack, is a full round action. But it's okay for this combat.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I can change the plan if that's what.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just in the future, because it's not really rules as intended. Because then you can like charge around the 90-degree corner by moving first.
Is it magic?
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, a wizard did it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is against the archer, not the horse.
Okay.
Good knowledge. That should be too high, actually, I just realised, to hit. Don't know what I rolled.
That is a hit regardless.
He gets bit for 11 points of damage.
He does not approve. Inox.
I'll show you the move speed. And might as well double move. I'll get you.
Okay. Oh, it's the Aurochs. Tyrexus, roll me a d20, please.
Hey, what? A d20?
A d20. As you've just struck down 2 horses with your massive lightning.
I have, yes.
And the Aurochs do not seem very, very content with that, as they freak out.
They're freaking out!
This guy goes north. Let's see. This guy goes this way. Fucking
Oh, they're
move.
coming for you, White Lancer.
This guy goes this way. They're milling about, completely without direction.
It's Bedlam.
There's pretty bedlam. This guy doesn't very much like that. He will move like so, away from the Aurochs and the dragon, and will shoot at Avonix.
I get my
no.
opportunity, right?
You do, it's true. Not the horse.
Generally try to kill the horses. It's easier and it kills
Yeah, this
the
against the
ability.
horse.
Okay, the horse, that's a hit. This guy will tell his horse to go close to you, against the horse's best wishes. And if you have another attack, you can take it, but I don't think you do.
The problem is our dexterity is going to go down, so I'm not going to bother taking combat reflexes.
As he will then swing his two-handed hammer with a single hand towards you. And I believe that's a hit.
Is that magical?
No.
Okay. I will
Getting
take
pretty
my
decent mileage out of that.
8 points of damage.
It's good now when they're like early levels. Is really
Probably
helpful.
gonna remain good. I mean,
I have no
adventurers are gonna
regrets.
have, but like skeletons and stuff, gnolls and like golems and shit, they don't have.
I was basically thinking against the hordes and hordes of people. If I was to go into a town and do the dragon thing of kidnapping people, the town guard's not going to have magic weapons.
If you have DR magical, it's considered magical weapon, so a golem would probably have, right?
Let's see. This archer here is going to decide that running away is a bad idea and will try to stab you with a spear.
Usually golems have like
And miss.
materials instead, like adamantine,
Attacks.
which would not count.
And golems have hardness.
Yeah. Hardness is great in different ways. Well, you don't really need my help too much. But why not make things interesting with piranhas, as that happens to be a thing. That Lancer's horse there, we'll get piranhas on it.
Okay.
Just
That is a hit.
put a little aura on the thing.
Which color would you like?
Give me the teal on that.
But you have the teal.
You
I
said
have
cyan.
I have the yeah, cyan.
Cyan, okay. Cyan. The cyan color of piranhas, I guess. Tyraxus.
He will fly like so, staying above ground, because he thinks that no one will charge him in here. The elevation is working, right? No?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
15 feet is barely enough to stay out the rampaging
I
orcs way.
will do 20 then. From 15 to 15.
Fly here and do a bite. And I do have a high ground, I'm pretty sure.
You definitely do.
Right. Munch!
That's just a hit.
Alright. Take it.
Let's see. This guy. Oh, well, you're no fun because you are not going down on the ground, so she is going to go over here.
I know, that's why I'm not gonna get charged by someone with a lance. Are you crazy? Tyraxus knows, he has read the books. What happens? Two dragons when a knight charges them.
She will go this way. Avonix.
Well, the archer. I feel like the archer is a bigger concern. The guy did just hit me, but the archer feels like a bigger concern.
We can get a full attack. It's worth it, I'd say.
I suppose. Should I go for horse first and then him?
I don't think it's as important for the crushers. They work perfectly fine on foot.
Okay.
Lancers
So, yeah.
probably don't do as well, and archers can't move as well, I think.
So this will be against the crusher. I'd prefer to stay flying, admittedly, which would be fly check, I suppose, to hover. Be fun. They're not really moving, so
Go
You
for
want
it.
a fly check, Sheep?
If you're hovering, yes.
Was
I
it
should
DC
have probably
15?
asked. Yeah, 15. I should have probably asked one for Direxus as well, but I forgot.
Oh, fell by 1.
Then
I'm
you
forced to
don't
land.
get your full
Left.
attack. I think
Oh,
the,
that's
the
disappointing.
rules essentially say that you lose your action.
I mean, trying to hover is trying not to take an action to fly. So,
Uh,
yeah, because I'm just trying to stay there and do other things while flying. Instead, I have to,
Let me double check here.
Oh well, land I do.
Let's see, where's the failure thing? Doesn't say.
I believe if I just fail a hover check, I just fall.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. You fall 10 feet, which is nothing.
Well, it's the same as doing the other fly checks, right? If you failed to turn, I suppose you wouldn't turn. So
I don't hover, so I land.
Yeah, I guess you just fail to hover and take involuntary movement down, so you still have your full round action if you want to take the attack.
But I don't get bonus for higher ground now. That's what's
No, you don't.
he does, because he's on a mount.
It's true.
Well, I will try and murder him still. Also, I'll spend that.
Okay.
Because, I want a corpse. Maybe. I'm no longer charging. Come on. Let's end.
Let's see, that's against him, right?
Yes.
You did everything twice. See, I'll take the first set, which means
Yep.
only the second claw hits.
Only second claw? Really?
Yep. So he does seem rather heavily armored. Rhinovox.
Well, she'll fly and land there, and have flanking, and then attack him.
Okay. Ooh, that's a crit that confirms.
Woohoo! With not that much
Uh,
damage though.
12
could you
damage.
roll your bite macro for the save?
Oh,
Because
right.
since you're
Sorry.
fatigued, that should be one lower. Should it?
It does do that, yeah.
No, because fatigue is strength and dex, not con.
Oh yeah, it's not con, so it's not low. Let's see. He is nauseated.
5 rounds.
5 rounds. Nauseated. Round. What round is it?
You would
Round
act
3.
round. He would act round 9.
Okay. The Aurochs are freaking out again. Let's see which way they move. These guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go this way. And they are in reach of Einavox, which means they will do their herd attack. Their stampede.
Is it too late to say that I chose the? Well, I didn't hit, but is it too late to say I took the AC bonus?
AC does nothing against this. It's a herd of animals. They hit automatically.
Yeah. But still, is it too late to?
No, it's fine, it's fine. But AC against this particular attack does nothing. As you take 20 bludgeoning damage as you get hit by a bunch of Aurochs trying to run away.
That is what we want on the bridge.
Let's see. The second set of Aurochs goes this way. Third set of Aurochs goes this way. This herd goes this way. And is actually in reach of both the Wild Lancer and the Horse. It will do another stampede against both of them for 15 points of damage. And the last set of Aurochs, which is this one, goes 1, 2, 3 this way. Drake's luckily flying in the air.
Yeah.
This archer will go over here and shoot at Einavox. Not the horse. The horse doesn't have a bow.
Not very good with it, at least.
Not
Can't
very.
pull the string.
Horsebowman.
And miss terribly.
Is that right while shooting penalty?
You don't get a penalty if the mount only moves one action.
Sure.
Oh, he's nauseated, right? He can't do anything. This guy, however, is not in range because the Rex is flying. So he'll stay put. This guy will try to stab Terexus with a spear, except he can't.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll 5-foot step, which would put him out of... let's say it doesn't put him out of reach, because then it's like diagonal and stuff. So you do get your attack of opportunity.
Alright.
And that is enough to down him.
Okay.
Attacks.
Well, we have the spiritual weapon attacking.
Against the horse, right? That is a hit. And that is enough to topple the horse.
Sure.
She will do her right check to not take damage from falling. And make it, and land safely on the ground.
He will then use his move action to direct the weapon against that horse.
Is that in range?
I do 100 and no, it's not. I'll move first then.
Okay.
I have to move a lot to not fall up to there, and then I'll do it.
Okay.
That's all I can do. Some move action to redirect it, and some move action to move. So
Terexus.
I don't want to land in the middle of all these oryx.
Well, full speed ahead. As he will run, fly up to here,
Okay.
leaving the Earthshaker guy over there. I don't care for him. He can try to run.
In the middle of a giant desert.
Mm-hmm. I like to see him try. Right, fly over here, park myself next to this guy, and be annoying.
Okay. Let's see. There's an Auroch herd in her way. That's disappointing. But she can safely move through the reach. So she will have her horse double move around them. And can't go there. You're flying. This should work. I do believe lances have reach.
Well, I know it's gonna bite her horse.
Well, she isn't. She is only moving into your reach, not out of it, so you don't get an attack of opportunity. And she will poke you with a lance, although not charging, unfortunately for her.
That's just a hit.
That's it for 10 points. She will... Let's see, how fast is she? She will run to here. Avolnix.
Well, I kind of want... I mean, we just need to murder stuff, right?
Yeah.
Murder.
Well, not the oryx, but
No, but I'm thinking the Crusher should be murdered.
sure. Kill him.
He seems like a bad person. Well, from my perspective, at least. I'll go ahead and spend another one of those.
Okay, that's enough to kill him and his horse.
Okay. They're now covered in frost, as I will 5 step there.
The frost very, very quickly disappears. I know.
5-foot step there. And I don't remember if the AC bonus gives bonus to hit, does it?
+2, yes.
+2 AC, +2 hit, +2. Oh, speaking of which, I should have taken the +2. Look, I'm not using move speed anymore, so is that reasonable, Sheep?
Sure.
I've been moving. Just might die down.
Well, +2 to attack then. That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, 5-foot step and attack her, because damn her. And she's gonna cover her claws in poison.
The first claw hits.